to Milan. It's a particularly moralistic time in America at the moment, so why have you decided to release such a risque video now?
Because it's a particularly moralistic time in America, it didn't make me sit back and say, oh, I better not do this now. People aren't going to be very accepting of it. Actually, a lot of the things that I deal with in my music and in the book is in particular with the repression that's going on in America right now. So I think that the timing is very good.
So to what extent do you think that a video like this promotes tolerance to sexual diversity?
To what extent? I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of really narrow-minded people, so if I can change the way that 1/100th of them thinks, then I've accomplished something, and I really can't predict how far-reaching that would be. You know, how many people I would change and how much tolerance would grow out of what the messages that I've put forth in the music.
Do you notice any differences between the way that America reacts to some of the things you do and to the way that Europe reacts? Because in my opinion, I feel that we're much more tolerant as a society.
In England or in Europe?
In Europe. I think particularly Europe is more
Europe, absolutely. Absolutely more tolerant. In fact, I feel like in Europe, people actually deal with the actual music and the artistic value of things, whereas in America, they're just so obsessed with scandal and so uptight about so many things that they can't get past their own hang-ups to actually to have a discussion about, you know, the music or the movie or the book or whatever it is that people do.
So do you feel that, in a sense, that your sexual mores are more European in value than American?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say that.
Okay. Much of your work involves the display of your own body, so would you agree with Camille Paglia, who asserts that female beauty is a potent form of power?
Absolutely.
So in what way are you using your power?
You mean I have to tell you? How am I using my power? By doing what I do.
But she says, she asserts that the power of the female beauty is used today in a much more socio-political way, and that you are at the forefront.
Well, it depends on what you do. I mean, you could be a beautiful girl and just sit around the house filing your nails all day, or you could be a beautiful girl who's out there saying something, taking risks, and trying to change people's way of thinking, which is what I think I am. But I have to preface all of that by saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There are plenty of people who don't think I'm beautiful, so in that case, Camille's ideas are out the window. So.
Do you believe that you've changed the sort of sexual mores of society, particularly in America?
I've had an effect in changing them. Lots of other people have too, but yes.
Is that more of a personal effect in terms of closer relationships, or in a wider term?
Wider. Just overall general acceptance of other people's differences, sexual preferences, whatever.
The video is seen on MTV around the world, and because it's a video, it will be seen as being glamorous. So to what extent do you feel that you're glamorizing sex without giving a safe sex message?
Well, once again, I'm not really sure what you mean by glamour. I think there's going to be a lot of people who see the video and don't think it's glamorous at all. I think they're going to think it's repulsive or disgusting or something. I don't know. And in the video, I never display any sort of unsafe sex, so I'm not promoting unsafe sex. If someone puts a harness on me and is riding me around like I'm a farm animal, I don't consider that unsafe sex. So if I'm sharing a lollipop with someone, I don't consider that unsafe sex. But as far as my work goes, I have said so many things about practicing safe sex that I just think that it's a given, that people know that that's something that I believe in. So. And one more thing, it's a fantasy. The whole video is a fantasy. My book is a fantasy, and so I'm not actually saying this is what you should go out and do. I'm presenting a fantasy not something that actually happened in reality, or so it's something that you can actually, if you watch the video and you get off on it or you find it exciting, whatever, that is absolutely the safest form of sex for everyone. So.
Are they, is the book or the video actually your sexual fantasies, or is it like general sexual fantasies, you feel?
Well, I think it's a combination of many things. I think if anybody writes anything, whatever, any writer, there's something of that writer in their work, even if it's fiction. So there are some of my ideas in it, there are other people's ideas in it, and I think it would be impossible to find the line, you know, of where's fact and where's fiction. I think it's an absolute combination of it all.
How did you get people to appear in the photos?
Well, most of the people that are in the book were friends of mine and or Stephen Meisel, photographer.
And when you brought them in to do the shots, a lot of the footage in the video seems like a sort of home video type material. I mean, it's probably meant to look like that, you know, in that way. And was that shot at the same time, and did the people know about it?
Absolutely. Everybody knew about it. All the people that participated in the book and in the video knew that they were taking part in both of it. And we absolutely got their permission and told them about it. I mean, they'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind to not see cameras all around them. So, of course, they knew about it. And we shot the film on Super 8, and it's all handheld, so it has that, you know, very home video kind of feel about it. It has a more personal, intimate feel, like a voyeuristic feel, you know, when it's handheld like that. And it also has, you know, Super 8's really grainy film, so it's kind of scratchy and sort of antique looking. And
there's humour in the video, which is what I like, and also one of the shots, which is from the book, I found very humorous, which was you hitchhiking. I think it was on Miami Beach. What did the motorists do when they sailed past you?
I think they all thought they were having a hallucination or something. Most of them just slowed down a little bit, looked at me, did a double take, and just kept on driving. I really don't think they thought they were seeing correctly. They all probably went to the eye doctor the next day. I don't know.
What about yourself? What was going through your mind when you were standing there?
I was laughing my head off. I couldn't stop laughing. I don't know, it was very liberating. I was giggling the whole time because I felt like I was doing the ultimate taboo. You know, you're not allowed to be in public without your clothes on. Only children are allowed to be in public without their clothes on, and it was very freeing in a way. I felt like a child again because just running in the streets naked.
But with a handbag?
Well, of course, shoes and a handbag. A girl can't go anywhere without her handbag. Her pocketbook.
What I'd like to know is that, were there any, when you sat down and sort of decided which fantasies you were going to pursue in terms of the shots, were there any that
you mean in the book?
In the book, yeah. Were there any that you came up with in your mind and thought, I will never be able to publish this?
No. I did everything I wanted to do. Absolutely.
So the publisher didn't come to you, lay down any law saying, well, I'll print the
book?
In
the very beginning, when we all made the agreement to do the book, Warner Books, you know, they gave me their rules. They said, we don't want you to do this picture, that picture. You know, we don't want you showing pictures depicting sex with children. We don't want you showing pictures depicting sex with animals, and no desecration of religious objects. But none of those things happened to be my sexual fantasies, so that wasn't a problem for me. So it ended up not, I didn't have to censor anything.